Hello and welcome to the Chinese Community Center's Restoring Hope concert, co-hosted by the University of Houston's Asian American Studies Center. I'm Andrew Chang.
And I'm Jessica Tao. We're so pleased and honored that you've joined us today for the celebration here at the Chinese Community Center in Houston, Texas. Today is an opportunity to celebrate the hope and resilience of the Houston community. We have faced unprecedented challenges in 2020, but we continue to persevere with the belief that our best days are still ahead of us.
We are excited to bring you performances today from many talented musicians that we hope will bring you peace, inspiration, and encouragement. We will also share with you the many ways that the Chinese Community Center has been striving to restore hope to Houston families throughout the pandemic.
So wherever you're watching from today, please sit back, relax, and enjoy.
And now we would like to begin our celebration by introducing the North American Youth Chinese Orchestra, who are our first performers for today.
Thank you to the North American Youth Chinese Orchestra for their wonderful performance, and thank you to all of you who have joined us for today's Restoring Hope concert. I'm Jean Lin, the chair of the Chinese Community Center's Board of Directors. The Chinese Community Center is a United Way agency that strives to bridge East and West by enriching families with educational, cultural, and social service programs. We offer programs that help meet the needs of Houstonians from any race or cultural background and at any stage of life, from early childhood to retirement. During times of a crisis, such as Hurricane Harvey in 2017 and the COVID-19 pandemic, the Chinese Community Center has stood with the people of Houston to help rebuild stability and meet essential needs. We will always be here for Houston, and we appreciate your support. Thank you.
Early childhood education is what we call a two-generation workforce issue, meaning that we are supporting both the parents who make up our workforce today and the children who will grow and develop into the workforce of tomorrow. Because we are supporting both the parents and the children, access to childcare is absolutely essential to help families thrive and to ensure that our economy remains vibrant and strong.
However, the COVID-19 pandemic has made access to early childhood education much more difficult for Houston families. Most childcare centers are small businesses that either have had to shut down completely or have had to reduce capacity in order to maintain social distancing and safety standards for children, parents, and staff. When access to childcare is reduced, parents must figure out how to balance taking care of their children and going to work. And the learning development of young children may be interrupted at a critical stage in their lives.
That is why the Chinese Community Center's Early Learning Center has been restoring hope for families by providing quality childcare that supports working parents and helps young children thrive and build a foundation for their future success.
My name is Ivy Aluway, and I am the Child Care Director of CCC Early Learning Center. Early Learning Center provides service to families with children aged 15 months to 5 years old. We typically serve about 100 families each year.
Early Learning Center is accredited by NACCE, which means the National Association for the Education of Young Children. Only 4% of Harris County schools are nationally accredited. Being part of a nationally accredited center is providing a high quality environment for the children. We see the children as the leader and the teacher, and the teachers are there just to help and support them. During this time, we have adjusted to our families, listening to their needs and listening to the children's needs. Asking the parents, what do they want at this time? What do they see for the future? What are their concerns? So having that one-on-one time with them, and since we are able to meet the parents at the door, it has really opening up for the parents and the directors, because we actually get to touch base with the parents, how they're doing, how the children are doing. Because some parents are working longer hours to provide for their families. We notice that some children are more sensitive during this time because they don't get to see their parents as often. In response, our teachers provide more one-on-one time with the kids because we understand that it is a tough time what their families are going through. We want to provide that support, that they still have some control in their life, that they will still have this school that will accept them. So many times me and Miss Ivy have reached out to families to let them know if there was anything that they needed, that they can always come to us. Whenever they do leave our program, I want them to be able to sustain and be able to learn in a large or smaller group. Able to make friends, able to build upon their interests, and able just to be a leader in their own education. We are doing the best that we can, and Early Learning Center is happy to stay open and serve these families because who knows what tomorrow will bring. And so we just want to continue to make sure that education is there, the nurturing and love support is there for the children, and of course, safety is there not only for the children, but for the staff and the family. Your support will help us sustain our childcare, continue to support children's learning, and enable our families to continue to work.
I start a new job the first days from the pandemic. So I was the only one at home that get a job in that moment. So I was looking for to keep my job in that moment because the money was the first thing in our mind. CCC Daycare offered me a chance to get the financial assistance, and for me it was really great in that moment because my daughter was in love with the school. So we in my family we was talking about that and about the money or the school, and we decided to keep one little thing from our old normal life for her. So we decided to stay at the school, and now my daughter, she didn't see any difference between the old life and the actual life. So she's really happy, and we are really happy for that. So I think this is the only thing that we keep from the old life, and we are in love with that.
And now we welcome the children from our Early Learning Center for a very special performance.
That was a very cute performance. We want to thank all the little performers. That was great. We would like to take a moment to recognize and thank our Resilience Level sponsors who have helped to make it possible for the Chinese Community Center to meet the critical needs of vulnerable Houston families. Our first Resilience sponsor is American First National Bank.
In the southwest Denver, Houston, within the center of Blade Boulevard, stands a tall building known as the new landmark of Chinatown, the American First Tower. American First National Bank was established on May 18, 1998. Under the leadership of the chairman of the board, Mr. Henry Wu, led 38 employees to start the bank. A total of 15 million in capital was raised within 3 days. By the end of 1998, American First National Bank's deposit reached 100 million and has been growing steadily ever since the successful acquisition of the First International Bank in 2011. On August 3rd, 2020, American First National Bank exceeded 2 billion in total assets, marking a significant milestone in the bank's 22-year history. American First National Bank currently has 20 branch locations throughout Houston, Dallas, Las Vegas, and Los Angeles, providing services in personal and business savings, financial management, and loan services. Over the years, American First National Bank has operated under the philosophy of serving customers from the heart. American First National Bank has donated over $1 million in nonprofit sponsorships to a variety of organizations helping local communities in need. American First National Bank.
We also want to recognize our former board member, Debbie Yee, and her husband, Chris Woods, for their resilient sponsorship. And we thank all of the board members who volunteer their time to help guide and steer the Chinese Community Center in achieving its mission.
Our family is honored to have the opportunity to support the Chinese Community Center during its Restoring Hope fundraising campaign.
We know that during these challenging times, the services the CCC provides to the community, from our children to our seniors, through classes, one-on-one engagement, and cultural programs like this concert, have never been more important. From our family to the CCC,
thank you for the community.
Thank you very much to American First National Bank and to Debbie Yee and Chris Woods for your generous support of the Chinese Community Center.
We would like to let everyone know that it's not too late to make a donation in support of the Chinese Community Center. To do so, right now, please visit ccchouston.org/2020 Restoring Hope.
Older adults are treasured members of our society. Our parents and grandparents have worked so diligently and so selflessly to build a good life for us. As they enter their golden years, we want to make sure that they have every opportunity to thrive with good health, to know that their lives have meaning and purpose, and to create a happy and joyful memories with their family and friends.
But seniors are also at higher risk for illnesses from the COVID-19 pandemic, and their risk increases if they have certain underlying medical conditions such as cancer, heart conditions, or type 2 diabetes. Because of this risk, seniors have had to adjust to a new normal in which they're staying home more and reducing their in-person contact with other people, including those dearest to them. This adjustment can be very detrimental and difficult and can lead to feelings of loneliness, sadness, fear, and anxiety.
That is why the Chinese Community Center, through our health and wellness program, is helping seniors maintain social connections, keep up with exercise, enjoy learning new skills, and have access to critical health information and resources that can allow them to live their best life.
My name is Pearl Yang, and I am the director of the Senior Health and Wellness Program. The Health and Wellness Program has many events for adults to come join in on recreational, educational, and social activities. The programs that we develop are primarily to help people build on or build new connections and relationship with others. We mainly serve seniors who are 60 years or older, but many of our events are well attended by all ages, like our health fair or our flu shot drive, to make sure health resources are accessible to everyone in the community. Because our programs are attended by many seniors, COVID has induced many insecurities for this population. Seniors are worried about their health and well-being, yet they feel conflicted about staying at home. And so sometimes they feel discouraged or even anxious that they cannot continue to live their normal routine prior to the pandemic. Right now, we are slowly bringing back classes and activities, especially classes that we know that we can properly social distance and keep everyone safe. We're also checking temperatures before people enter the facility, and we're also following proper sanitation guidelines. If there's a class that's a bit difficult to bring back at this time, we are also hosting it on Zoom, like our ukulele, Zumba, and exercise class.
go down, elbows point at the ceiling, and up.
Our main concern is to stay in touch with each and every one of our community members, whether or not that they are active in CCC events. So with your support, we can continue to maintain activities for our seniors that will help reduce isolation and promote active living, whether at home or in our center.
2, 3, 4, last time.
And now, it is my pleasure to introduce our next performer, Kevin Griffin from Ukulele Kids Club. Kevin is a talented and dedicated volunteer who teaches ukulele classes to the seniors participating in our health and wellness program.
Thank you, Kevin, for your beautiful performance and for the care, engagement, and support that you provide to our seniors. Next, we would like to recognize and thank our inspiration level donors, the Honorable Teresa Chang and Dr. Peter Chang.
Peter and I have been active supporters and volunteers of CCC for many years. We support CCC not because it is the largest Asian American social service agency in the South, not because it is the primary Asian American nonprofit that was called by the city and the Red Cross for help during disasters such as flooding and hurricane. We support CCC because we have seen with our own eyes the tremendous positive impact that it has made on our community.
This year is a very unusual year. Due to the COVID pandemic, donations to charities has dropped by 25% or more, and up to 1.6 million nonprofit workers are out of work. It is crucial that we help these charities so they can help many, many others. This is the time for kindness. We're living in a moment where generosity matters more than ever.
Peter and Teresa, we're so grateful for your generous support of the Chinese Community Center. We thank you very much.
And thank you everyone who has joined us today. If you would like to make a donation to the Chinese Community Center, you can visit ccchouston.org/2020 Restoring Hope. Again, that's ccchouston.org/2020 Restoring Hope. It's actually here on the screen. Thank you. The year 2020 has posed major challenges to our educational system. At various times during the last several months, schools in the Houston area had to close their doors and migrate to virtual learning in order to curb the spread of coronavirus. Students have had to adapt to distance learning at home, which has limited their access to the support and interactions provided by teachers, friends, and classmates. Parents, too, have faced a tough dilemma between their need to work and their need to take care of their children at home when schools had to suspend in-person classes.
During this challenging time, the Chinese Community Center's youth program has supported families by providing full-day care for parents and by preventing learning gaps among students through tutoring, learning pods, and access to digital devices. We continue to help students excel so that the COVID-19 pandemic will not be something that holds them back, but something that will have only made them stronger.
My name is Lisa. I'm the Youth Program Manager at the Chinese Community Center. Typically, we offer a youth after-school program during the school year to do homework help, enrichment activities, and just giving kids a safe place to stay between the hours of 3 to 6:30. In a normal year, we would also do a summer camp program that offers full-day learning activities that balances fun with academics. Students learn different core subjects through hands-on learning activities. We also do field trips around the Houston area, and we also have recreational activities on site. We serve school-aged children between the ages of 5 to 18. Typically, our services during the normal school year and through the summer go from 5 to 13, but we also offer volunteer opportunities for kids between the ages of 14 to 18 to give them an opportunity to give back to their community, but also earn community service hours. For school-aged children, being involved in a youth program or activities is really important to their developmental growth, because a lot of times at this age, parents kind of feel like they are older and they can kind of take care of themselves, so they may not necessarily get that academic support at home. Also, I think that right now is a really important time in their lives to learn those social skills in order to figure out who they are as a person and learn how to interact with each other in appropriate ways. This year, we've been doing virtual classes online, in-person learning centers, and then also we did a very small summer camp this past summer.
It took a lot of effort and planning in order to keep our students safe, socially distanced, and at the same time allowing them to socially interact with each other. Our students had little experience in online learning, and our staff struggled to try and teach them the technological skills they needed from afar.
Some of the things that we've had to do to reopen have been revising our bathroom procedures, going to lunch. We had to move to larger spaces like the senior center in order to create socially distanced learning areas. We lowered our student to teacher ratios and capped our enrollment at 25%. In order to minimize disruption to the students' learning, we purchased headphones and webcams and enhanced Wi-Fi capabilities to support the additional students on site and devices connected.
Many of our students had parents that worked in restaurants and other industries affected by COVID-19. As a result, many lost hours and income and struggled to meet their families' needs.
We helped the families that were most affected by the pandemic by connecting them with financial assistance to help with things like rent and food.
Traditionally, our program receives grants from funders in order to offer a free after-school program, but without physical attendance, we aren't able to receive most of those grants that are vital to our program.
Your support will help us to provide youth with a safe learning environment so that they can continue to excel socially and academically.
We would like to thank our confident sponsors, which are listed on the screen. Thank you very much.
The economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic has been felt by countless Houston families. The U.S. Census Bureau found that in the Houston area, nearly 2/3 of workers experienced a loss of employment income by being either laid off from a job or having their hours reduced at work.
Across the state, tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of Texans have filed for unemployment benefits each week since mid-March, according to the Texas Workforce Commission. Although Texas unemployment claims are recovering gradually, many jobs that were eliminated during the pandemic have not been brought back and may never return.
As Houston looks to the future, we need to make sure that we're training workers to thrive in a post-pandemic economy. The Center for Houston's Future has projected that 1 out of every 4 jobs that will be added to Houston's economy between 2019 and 2036 will be in healthcare. This is why the Chinese Community Center is training workers for such healthcare jobs such as certified nurse aides, which offers opportunities for career growth and advancement. At the same time, we're also empowering families to optimize their income by teaching them how to create a budget, build credit and long-term savings, and make informed financial decisions.
My name is Kimberly Tang. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at the Chinese Community Center and currently supporting our Social Services Department. As the largest department at CCC, we focus on financial stability and asset building. Through our holistic program approach, we are not only addressing the challenges brought to us by our community members, but we see our community member as a whole and have the potential to overcome any challenges they face with the right resources in place. Our program serves individuals from 18 years old and well into their senior years. The Social Services Department take part in numbers of initiatives that provide opportunity to help individuals to attain a sustainable quality of living. Our Financial Opportunity Center and United Way Thrive program focus on career development and financial education as well as coaching. To serve our seniors who are 55 years and older aiming to return back to the workforce, our Senior Community Service Employment Program provides the training opportunity for them. At the same time, our Adult Education Literacy programs provides English as a Second Language ESL classes year-round to our community. To carry on our continuum of services, our Immigration and Citizenship programs offers assistance and guidance to individuals who are interested in becoming a U.S. citizen. Also, our Benefit Enrollment Center helps applying for public benefits more accessible within the community, as well as our housing program offers workshops for individuals aiming to become a homeowner as their personal goal. In addition, we also provide seasonal services like our Tech Center, which we opened from January through April. Although the pandemic brought us some unforeseeable circumstance, social services departments continue to find ways to stay connected with our community members, knowing that it is even more crucial than ever. While we have shifted most of our services online, we continue to provide limited in-person assistance to individuals who need it the most, while following the CDC guidelines to protect our staff and as well as our community members. The true testament of the program is the successes that our clients share. Let's be a part of their journey. Your support will allow us to continue our efforts to keep these stories alive.
We are very grateful for the generous support from our Vision level sponsors. We want to thank everyone that's currently on the screen right here.
Now, it's our pleasure to invite the North American Youth Chinese Orchestra to treat us to another performance.
We would like to take a moment to talk about ALICE families. According to United Way of Houston, ALICE stands for Asset Limited, Income Constrained, Employed.
ALICE families are the families who are working hard but still struggling to afford the basic necessities of life, like housing, food, childcare, healthcare, and transportation. ALICE workers are childcare workers, home health aides, office clerks, cashiers, servers at restaurants, and salespeople at big box stores.
ALICE families are far more common than we might realize. Nearly half of families in Greater Houston, about 47%, were struggling to make ends meet before the COVID-19 pandemic even struck. Now, the economic impact of the pandemic has only made it more difficult for ALICE families to thrive.
Loss of income, either due to being laid off or having reduced hours at work, has caused many workers and their families to experience financial emergencies this year. These emergencies can place families at risk of not being able to put food on the table, keep their utilities connected, or remain in their homes. Because of these emergency needs, the Chinese Community Center has been on the front lines of providing COVID-19 relief.
My name is Mei Li, and I'm the Director of Culture and Community Department at the Chinese Community Center. In 2020, the whole world was hit hard by the unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic. When it first started spreading in Houston earlier this year, CCC quickly reacted and has been helping the community get through the tough times ever since. When COVID first hit, there was a shortage of masks, especially among vulnerable seniors. So one of the first efforts CCC did was to work with State Representative Jing Wu to distribute free masks to seniors. Hundreds of seniors and their family members showed up to the mask distribution drive-thru event. Located in the heart of Houston's Asian town, CCC realized that our rich variety of Asian restaurants were struggling and many of them were facing closure. Of special concern was also a growing anti-Asian sentiment due to this pandemic. To address these concerns, CCC worked with many Asian American organizations and communities in Greater Houston to launch the Asian Americans Salute Frontline Heroes campaign, with Mayor Turner serving as our honorary chair. Our plan was to buy pre-packaged meals from struggling Asian restaurants and deliver these meals to the first responders and frontline healthcare workers. So the project has a three-part goal of helping to feed frontline heroes, helping to support local small business, and highlighting the positive impacts of people of Asian heritage on American society. The campaign was carried out from May to July, and during that time, we successfully delivered over 13,000 meals to our frontline heroes with help from the supporting community. CCC has also been deeply involved in COVID relief efforts to help families that have been financially impacted by the pandemic. We have been working to distribute close to 1 million emergency financial assistance to help vulnerable families cover necessary expenses such as rent payments and food. A huge challenge many families are facing is eviction. In addition to rental assistance, CCC has hosted several webinars to help renters understand their rights and actions to take to prevent eviction. Chinese Community Center's COVID relief efforts are still ongoing. In addition to providing immediate help, we are also devoted to helping families restore hope in the long term beyond the pandemic. With your help, we will be able to continue helping struggling families overcome the challenges they face so they can achieve greater stability and resilience.
We are so grateful to the many community ambassadors who have helped make a donation to help the Chinese Community Center serve the people of Houston.
Every donation, no matter the dollar amount, helps us provide essential services to the community, such as childcare for working families, academic support to help students close the learning gap, workforce skills training and financial education to help families thrive, and services to help older adults maintain their health, wellness, and social connection.
We encourage you to consider making a donation right now by visiting ccchouston.org/2020 Restoring Hope.
Good afternoon. I'm Chu Meilin, Chief Executive Officer of the Chinese Community Center. I want to thank each of you for joining today's special event. I deeply appreciate the opportunity you have given us to share the efforts that the Chinese Community Center has been engaged in to restore hopes to Houston families during this pandemic. I would like to give special thanks to the sponsors and donors whose generous support has enabled us to provide services to meet the critical needs of the community and to adapt our services so that we can keep our participants, volunteers, and staff safe throughout the pandemic. And thank you to each of our wonderful performers and the fantastic hosts, Andrew and Jessica, for making today's celebration very special and inspiring. 2020 has been a very challenging year. Though the road to recovery may take some time, I assure you that the Chinese Community Center will be by your side each step of the way. We're here for you, your loved ones, and all the people of Houston because we're all in this together. Through our strength, resilience, and determination, we will prevail. Thank you for being part of the Chinese Community Center family. I wish you a safe holiday season with good health.
We've now moved to the beautiful auditorium at the CCC Senior Center. For the final performance, we'd like to introduce Mike Ryden, CEO of HCSS. He'll be performing a piano solo.
From all of us here at the Chinese Community Center, we would like to thank you for enjoying our Restoring Hope concert.
Until we see each other next time, stay safe and stay well.